Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on this Lawnboy, and it's got a Kohler motor on it. And the guy that dropped it off told me that it was running fine, and it ran out of gas. And when he went to put gas back into it, it started, and then it stopped right away. And then he kept trying to pull on it, and it didn't start. So what I'm guessing is there's probably a chance that he put old fuel in it, or maybe the carburetor's gumped up. So I'm going to empty out the gas, put some fresh in it, try it again, and then go from there. Okay, so I tried the fresh fuel, and that wasn't it. Did the same symptoms. It sounded like it almost wanted to start, but it didn't. So I'm thinking there's something in the carburetor. So I'm going to take that apart, clean it, check out the main jet, and go from there. Stick around. Hopefully we'll fix it. First thing you're going to want to do is take the 3 bolts or the nuts off the bolts on the top cover here, and then take off the gas cap, and then you'll be able to take this top cover off. And I find it's a lot easier to get this out of the way so you have more area to work around. But if you choose not to do this, that's fine. You can get away with it. I just like to do it because it makes it a little bit easier. Next, we'll loosen up the air filter cover, take that off along with the air filter inside. And from here we're going to take off 1, 2, 3 nuts and pull off the air filter cover. Now this next step kind of separates the beginners from the novice, because you need to take out these 2 T20s, the silver ones you can see. There's a one here, and then there's one back behind it. And that is going to give you what you need to do to take off this piece of linkage. The linkage is here, and if you put this back together, you're going to make sure that the small wire one is here and the big wire one is up top. And what that's going to allow you to do is to take these 2 brackets off so that you can get your carburetor or everything off, so you can turn your carburetor around and spin it upside down to get inside of it. And you're going to need to take your time, because these take pictures, reference this video, because this stuff has to go back just the way that it's in now. So as I'm coming back and editing this video, I missed a couple crucial steps that you might actually need to help you along with your project. But it's very simple. Where the last clip ended, I was taking parts off of the carburetor so I could slip it off those 2 bolts, and from there I just twist it over, and I can take the 10mm bolt off the bottom of the float bowl. Where the video is going to pick up, I'm actually somewhere pulling the main jet or cleaning the main jet. The float doesn't have to come out, but if it does come out, you need to make sure that that pin's lined up properly so that the float can sit back in there, and your needle is seated down into the little hole inside. Make sure you take it apart slowly so you know exactly where everything goes if you've never done this before. And the jet is really easy to get out, just a flathead screwdriver. It's in the very middle of the carburetor. You just unthread it, pull it out. You can look. If you can't see through it, like the next clips are going to show you, then you know it's clogged up, and that's the culprit. So here's our problem. The main jet is clogged, and the gas can't get through it. So I'll just run a little wire through there and clean it out. It should do the trick. Now it's clear, and the gas will flow through the jet, and this mower is going to work properly. Now the top side seems to be clear, but the bottom has some debris in there, and that's probably what clogged up the main jet. So I'm going to take some carb cleaner and clean that out. Alright, go ahead and drop the float back in. Line up all those holes. Float's back in. We'll go ahead and put the float bowl back in. One thing I do want to mention is to make sure that this is on the back side of the float. That way the float can open up the whole way on the inside. It's going to be very difficult to do with one hand, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but we need to reattach this linkage into here. That just popped out anyway. And we need to wrap this back around and fasten that back down over here. And then this will flip around, Well, you remember how it was earlier, and that'll bolt back down as well. Also, the linkage connects from here to here, and the small wire hooks in the bottom here, and that adjusts the butterfly valve down here. Okay, so the next step is go ahead and put our air filter housing back on. We're going to line up the holes, fasten the bolts down. Same here with the other side. We're going to line that up and fasten that down. Next, we'll drop in our air filter. Once that's actually in there, we'll attach the air filter cover and tighten that down. And if you chose to do it the way I did, next we're going to take off the gas cap, put our cover on, align all the holes, and then we'll fasten our 3 nuts back down and put in new gas and attach the cap cover. And if we did everything correctly, put everything back together and cleaned out that carburetor like we thought, it should start up on the first or second pull. So I'm pretty pleased on how that turned out. It's amazing how just little debris like that will mess up your mower, and you got to take it apart and clean it the way I showed you. So as always, I hope this video was helpful and you got something out of it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time from the Neighborhood Go-To Guy.